Before the first star ignited, before time had a name, heaven bled, one angel, one choice, one war that tore paradise apart and changed everything you think you know about good and evil. This is the story heaven tried to forget, the battle that created hell itself. Imagine a place where light doesn't just shine, it is. Where millions of beings of pure power worship in perfect harmony. This was heaven, perfect, eternal, unbreakable, or so they thought. Among these celestial beings, one stood above all others. His name was Lucifer, the morning star, the most beautiful creature God had ever created. But here's what will shock you. Lucifer wasn't created evil. He was created perfect. So perfect that when you looked at him, you saw a reflection of God's own glory. So how does perfection become corruption? How does heaven's brightest star become hell's darkest prince? And why did 1/3 of all angels choose to follow him into damnation? The answer is more terrifying than you imagine, because what happened to Lucifer could have happened to any of them. Let me take you back to a moment no human has ever witnessed. The moment Lucifer opened his eyes for the first time. Ezekiel 28 describes him as perfect in beauty, full of wisdom, the guardian of God's throne. Every precious stone adorned him. He didn't just reflect light, he was living light. But here's where the story takes a turn that will make your blood run cold. There was a moment when Lucifer looked at his own reflection and thought something that had never been thought in heaven before. Why should I bow when I am this magnificent? And with that one thought, perfection cracked. Pride, the deadliest poison in the universe, began to spread through heaven's most beloved angel. Pride doesn't announce itself with trumpets, it whispers. In Lucifer's mind, the whispers began, "You are just as glorious. Why should he sit on the throne when you could?" Isaiah 14 captures his 5 declarations of rebellion, 5 I will statements that would reshape reality itself. I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will make myself like the Most High. But Lucifer didn't just attack God. He was strategic. He recruited. He went to the angels he trusted and asked a question that had never been asked in heaven. Why should we serve when we could rule? And one by one, they listened. By the time Lucifer was ready, he had convinced 1/3 of all angels, millions of celestial warriors, to commit cosmic treason. Heaven was about to witness something it was never designed to experience: war. Apocalypse 12 describes it. There was war in heaven, the collision of beings made of pure power, clashing with the fury of 1,000 supernovas. This wasn't a battle of flesh and blood, this was a war of essence itself. Standing against Lucifer was Michael, the Archangel whose very name means, "Who is like God?" A question, a challenge, a declaration. On one side, Lucifer and millions of rebels drunk on pride. On the other, Michael and the loyal host who understood that true power comes from serving the one on the throne. And then they charged. Light clashed against corrupted light. Brother fought against brother. Michael's sword met Lucifer's blade, and the impact sent shockwaves through dimensions. But here's what Scripture makes clear. This wasn't a battle of equals. Lucifer never stood a chance. One by one, the rebels fell, defeated, broken, their glory stripped away. And when Lucifer finally looked into Michael's eyes, he saw something that shattered him more than any blade could. Pity. The morning star had fallen, and his descent was only beginning. Jesus himself witnessed this moment. In Luke 10:18, he describes it. I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Like lightning, instant, catastrophic, irreversible. They were cast down, falling through dimensions until they crashed into a realm that would become their prison. The light bearer had become the prince of darkness. The name Lucifer would no longer be spoken. Now he had a new name, Satan, the adversary. The dragon, the father of lies, millions of angels who followed him thinking they would rule, now found themselves in eternal exile. Their glory gone, their future hopeless. But the story doesn't end here, because what Satan did next would drag all of humanity into this ancient war. Cast down but not destroyed, Satan looked up and saw something that ignited a new fury in his corrupted heart. God had created something new: humanity. And here's what drove Satan mad. These weak, fragile humans were given something he never had: a chance at redemption, a path back to God even after failure. So Satan took the form of a serpent and slithered into paradise with a plan. He would use the same weapon that destroyed him: pride, doubt, the whisper of "you could be like God." Did God really say you must not eat from that tree? He knows that when you eat it, you'll be like him. And just like a third of heaven fell for the lie, humanity fell too. In one bite, Satan corrupted God's beloved creation. Death entered the world. Sin became humanity's inheritance, and the ancient war that began in heaven now raged on earth. That war never ended. It's happening right now, in your life, in your choices, in your mind. Satan thought he won when he corrupted humanity. He thought he had checkmated God. But God had a plan that would not only defeat him, it would humiliate him. God himself would enter the battlefield, not as a conquering warrior, but as a baby, born in a stable, living as a human, experiencing every temptation you and I face. And when Satan tried his old tricks on Jesus in the wilderness, offering him kingdoms, tempting him with pride, Jesus did what Adam couldn't do, what the fallen angels couldn't do. He said no. Then Jesus walked willingly to a cross and let himself be killed. Satan thought he'd won the ultimate victory, but 3 days later, Jesus rose. Death, Satan's greatest weapon, was defeated. The curse was broken. The door to redemption was blown wide open. Colossians 2:15 says Jesus disarmed the powers and authorities, making a public spectacle of them. Satan isn't just defeated, he's humiliated. Every weapon Satan used against you, Jesus disarmed it. Every lie he whispers, Jesus is the truth that silences it. Every chain of sin, Jesus has the key. But the story isn't over yet. Revelation gives us a glimpse of the final chapter. Revelation 20:10 declares, "The devil was thrown into the lake of fire and sulfur, and they will be tormented day and night forever and ever, forever. Not a year, not a million years, forever." The angel who wanted to be God will spend eternity knowing he lost everything. Meanwhile, Revelation 21 shows us a new heaven and new earth, where God will wipe away every tear, and there will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain. 2 destinies, 2 kingdoms, 1 choice. And unlike the angels who fell with Lucifer, you still have time to choose. So let me ask you, which side of this war are you on? Before you answer automatically, understand this: neutrality isn't an option. Jesus said, "Whoever is not with me is against me." Every day you choose. When you choose pride over humility, you're echoing Lucifer's rebellion. When you believe Satan's lies over God's truth, you're siding with the deceiver. But here's the beautiful truth. Unlike the angels, you can change sides. You can defect from Satan's doomed rebellion and join the winning army. The same God that cast down Lucifer came down to earth to save you. He's not asking for perfection. He's asking for surrender, for a choice to say, "Not my will, but yours." This is the war that changed heaven forever, a war that started with one angel's pride, that cast millions into darkness, that dragged humanity into a cosmic battlefield. But it's also the war that proved something Satan will never understand. True power isn't found in taking the throne, it's found in kneeling before it. Lucifer said, "I will ascend." Jesus said, "I will descend." And that's why Jesus is exalted above every name, while Satan cowers in defeat. The war in heaven is over. Satan lost. But the war for your soul, that battle is still raging. Don't make Lucifer's mistake. Don't let pride whisper that you can do life without God. Don't wait until it's too late to choose, because one day every knee will bow. The only question is, will you do it now in surrender, or then in regret? If this story impacted you, if it opened your eyes to the spiritual war happening all around us, I need you to do 3 things right now. First, hit that subscribe button. We're going deep into the mysteries that religion doesn't always talk about. Second, share this video. Someone in your life is losing this spiritual battle and doesn't even know they're in a war. Third, drop a comment. What shocked you most? Which side of this war are you fighting on? And if you're ready to switch sides from Satan's rebellion to God's kingdom, there's a prayer in the description below. Remember, the war is real, the enemy is defeated, but the choice is yours. The war that changed heaven forever didn't end in heaven. It moved to earth, to your neighborhood, to your family, to your heart. Lucifer fell because he wanted to be God. Humanity can rise because God became human. That's the difference between rebellion and redemption, between hell and heaven. Choose wisely. Eternity is watching.